Hello, my name is Jacob Poole, and for my cultural presentation, I have chosen to talk about the Crystal Palace. This slideshow will consist of background information about the Crystal Palace and many interesting facts to go along with it. A little bit of biography about the Crystal Palace. The palace was first built in 1850 at its Hyde Park location in London. This was the actual first location of the Crystal Palace. After the Great Exhibition of 1851, the Crystal Palace was actually taken down and moved to a new location. The new location was called Sydenham Hill. It was also in London as well. The building of the new palace took about 2 years to complete. This picture on the right here is a picture of the Crystal Palace at Hyde Park in 1851. Construction of the Crystal Palace. The total cost of this project was quite significant. It was about 1.5 million pounds in 1851. Today, that would be equivalent to 280 million pounds. It was designed by an architect named Joseph Paxton. He had many different designs for this, but it took a while for that one to actually be accepted. The first Hyde Park Crystal Palace took about 9 months to build. The pictures here on the right are the one on the left is of John Paxton. He's the actual architect, and the one on the right is the Crystal Palace in 1851. Some specs of the Crystal Palace. The building was huge in size. It was about 1,800 feet long by 400 feet wide, standing at over 100 foot tall. The building consisted of about 990,000 square foot. That's huge square foot. The land that the palace was actually on was 23 acres in size, and the palace took up 18 of those acres. And here on the left is a picture of the Crystal Palace, aerial view of it, to show you kind of the surrounding features of the palace and the park itself. Some decorative features. The building was designed with a ton of cast iron beams, long laminate wood beams, and a ton of glass pane. About 10 million feet of glass panes were used throughout this building. The use of these materials displayed the advancement of technology that the Victorians had at the time, and they also had a Osler's crystal fountain that was in the palace as well. This was an enormous fountain. It stood at 27 feet tall. It was actually made of 4 tons of glass, and this thing was found in the center of the Crystal Palace. It was in a pool of goldfish. And the pictures on the right here, you can see some of the iron beams and the glass panes that were used throughout the palace. And the picture on the left is a picture of the fountain in the center of the palace. The primary purpose of the palace was to host the Great Exhibition of 1851. As you can see here on the left, you can see many people walking throughout the main central area of the palace. You can see the fountain in the picture as well. Everybody seems to be having a pretty good time there. The palace also was considered to be the world's first theme park. They had hot air balloons. They hosted sport events, and it was said to have a coaster as well. You can see a picture of the hot air balloon show. Many people gathering outside in the park in front of the Crystal Palace. and also they hosted many sporting events as well. Today's Crystal Palace, they actually have a football club in London that is named after the famous Crystal Palace itself. They're known as the Crystal Palace FC, and they have a logo that it's got actually the Crystal Palace in their logo itself. And then the picture in the middle here is a train station that is actually named after the Crystal Palace, and it's got some features and stuff that the Crystal Palace actually has inside of it as well. And also what is really neat and I find very interesting is here in Orlando, Florida, at Walt Disney World, they actually have a Crystal Palace restaurant that you can eat in, and it has a bunch of like the theme of the Victorians, which consists of like the decorative style that they had in the palace at the time. And I find that real neat, and it would definitely be some place to visit to kind of get a experience firsthand of the palace itself. Tragedy. In 1936, the Crystal Palace burned down. It caught fire mysteriously. Bystanders viewed it as a small fire being witnessed, and people trying to extinguish it, but they were unable to. And they said that it just the flame just took off, and this struck home for many people because of the size and the amount of money that was spent to build this humongous palace, and to see it go up in flames like this. They said that more than 80 fire engines and hundreds of firefighters were actually dispatched to the blaze to try and fight the blaze, but it was just uncontrollable. And actually hundreds of people gathered outside in the park and stuff in the area to watch the firefighters actually fight the blaze. But it suffered significant fire damage to this as a result, but many say it was like an insurance claim. They try to get insurance money off of it, but no one knows for sure. These are here on my works cited. These include the websites that I got the information from, as well as the links to where I obtained my pictures that were included in this slideshow. This is just a continuation of the works cited as well, just giving all my credit to those who actually deserve it. And that will be it. Thank you guys for watching.